Today we're doing a now spinning stream, and we are finally going to be getting to an album that I've been meaning to listen to and react to for a minute. Tyler, the Creator, new album, creator, new album, CHROMAKOPIA, which he released a couple weeks ago now. It's follow-up to his to his very well received 21 project, Call Me If You Call Me, 2021 project, Call Me If You Get Lost. Kind of dropped out of nowhere. Definitely a surprise. He kind of hinted and teased at it, and the next thing you know, it was here. So wasn't like a huge rollout, but it did do huge numbers when it first came out, which is super dope because, again, I've mentioned this multiple times from some of the stuff that I've reacted to and listened to him here on stream, is that I was not always the biggest fan of him when he first kind of came out and did more of that kind of shock rap, Eminem style type of rapping with his collective. Obviously there were moments in there that I like messed with, but overall he wasn't like my favorite artist. But over the last few years, maybe even decade of his career, his solo career, where he's really kind of shifted things and taken things to a more alternative, soulful R&B type of lane and really got into his bag there, I've become a much bigger fan. And like, I really truly appreciate the level of talent and artistry that he actually has, which is very surprising because when you first heard him and first kind of saw him as an artist, you would not have guessed that this is where he would have taken his career. But here we are, and it's absolutely impressive. I think he's one of the best artists out there today. Whether that's producing, rapping, singing, he kind of does it all, and he does it in his own very unique way. And it seemed to have resonated with quite a few people. If you need any kind of like hint of how much it's resonated, just go watch Kendrick Lamar's pop out concert he did earlier this year in LA. And while he only had maybe 2-3 snippets of songs, the crowd, the pop was absolutely insane. He's truly taken his career to like the highest of heights. So I'm very excited to see kind of where he goes now after following up, which was almost like a throwback homage to that mixtape era with Call Me If You Get Lost. So here we are, CHROMAKOPIA. Without further ado, let's just kind of get right into it. Yeah, like I had already mentioned, the fact that like this is coming through as a whisper type of song and as much knowledge and love the creator have for music in the past, and especially like hip hop, I would not be surprised if this is a direct homage to Ying Yang Twins' Wait, the Whisper song, which was way ahead of its time when you look back at it now. Like they did something so different and so unique that stood out so much and became, against all odds, a smash hit. Like that song should not have worked the way and as well as it did, but I remember when it came out, it was an absolute smash. You literally had people whispering in the club along with the song. Like the fact that this is also a whisper, I would not be surprised if this was a direct homage to Ying Yang Twins' Whisper song, which would be incredibly dope if that was true. And like, I don't know if Tyler is still doing all of his own production on all of these songs, but if this is still the case for a lot of them, like he needs to get his flowers for the level of production and how far it has come in like his bag. Like the amount of layers and intricacies that he's able to build within these songs nowadays is truly impressive. And like that backing kind of marching rhythm that he has in there, it does so much for this song, and it's such a like almost minute kind of detail that you might not think would like make this entire song, but that like marching rhythm creates like this uneasy, unnerving backdrop to go along with like this more soulful, sprite kind of synthy pianos. And it's like that mishmash of things creates this very unique sound that when you hear it, you're almost like, oh yeah, that's Tyler the Creator. That's absolutely him. Like absolutely fire intro. Like I said, like when you hear it and you hear all the layers and all the details, that is absolutely 1000% a Tyler the Creator song. It seems to be something that he is like uniquely suited and capable of. And fire intro. Let's keep this going. Track number 2, Ratata. I mean, that's tough. Like that's just tough. Like the beat, the production, the delivery, the flow, that is just a hard ass song. And like one thing I would also love about Tyler, even though like I said early on, like not my absolute favorite artist. I didn't necessarily love everything that he's doing with Odd Future, Wolfgang, all that stuff like very early on when it was more kind of shock rap, much more like Eminem, much more aggressive in your face. I didn't love everything that they were doing, but like one thing I do love about him is that even though he has evolved so much and like really shifted the sound and just the depth of his artistry over the last few projects, he has not abandoned what got him popular in the first place. He still gives you those moments of those harder, aggressive, more in your face type of raps that you would have heard him kind of do early on in his career. Like, so he's found a way to like kind of perfectly meld those two kind of sides of himself into this whole product. And like a lot of artists are not capable of doing that. It's either they are all one way or they just completely abandon that and go another way, and like really leaves fans wanting either one side or the other and kind of really splitting the fan base. One thing he does and is very capable of is kind of servicing both of his fan bases that like either they were there from the jump or they caught on kind of later on. But he does a good job of like catering to both of them, and this is a perfect example of that.
Bruh.
That was tough. That was a tough line. I'm not gonna lie, especially the context of everything that's gone on this year. That's a tough line. And he even mentioned Wolfgang and Odd Future, like kind of early on with his like his collective clique, whatever you want to call it. Like I said, it felt very reminiscent of those earlier days, and like him calling back to it only further iterates that feeling that it had. But to him, kind of see him kind of like beating his chest and like letting people know like, yo, I'm here now. Like, you need to give me my flowers. Like, I need my appreciation. My spot in this game is solidified. Like he said, I'm number 2 in the city, only behind Kendrick. And that's something that you might not have always heard him kind of like be as boastful about, especially when it comes to rap. But like, he's planting his flag and letting people know like, I'm that guy. Put some respect on my name. You know what I mean? It was a dope little shout out, dope little homage. And seeing as this came out before GNX officially dropped, the way he said whacked out, I'm the biggest in the city, only after Kendrick, like it feels like he probably heard a lot of those sessions, or at least GNX and whole before like we did, and he's kind of paying that homage to it, which is a dope little callback. Like, I do think people are gonna really need to start considering where Tyler the Creator stands in terms of like rap hierarchy, because if he keeps putting out banger after banger after banger, he's gonna need to start getting his respect. 1000%. That also sounds like a direct callback to a what's his name, DJ Khaled. That also seems like a quick little shot, little nod, little like I'm still shitting on you type of like line right there. Because when was it Call Me When You Get Lost? Yeah, Call Me When You Get Lost got nominated and won, I believe it was Grammy. It was BET Award. It was one of those when it beat out DJ Khaled's last album, whatever that was. When he had like a super lineup of all these artists that he paid or whatever to get on the song, like he always does, and it lost to this almost like indie mixtape kind of release from Tyler the Creator. He really got into his feels and kind of called them out for winning with like weirdo type music, and him saying that at the end of this definitely felt like a direct callback to that, which I'm all for shitting on DJ Khaled, so shout out to that. Keeps going. Let's go to track number 3, Noid. I don't know if this is a sample. I'd be surprised if this was a direct sample, but I'm not gonna lie, it definitely sounds like a sample of like Jimi Hendrix. What was that song? Not Purple Haze. Was it Purple Haze? It's definitely some psychedelic rock band. Like I wouldn't be surprised if this was some like niche, indie, small 70s psych rock band that I've never heard of that he's sampling because he is that deep into the music. But like, this definitely sounds like a lick or a riff from like a Jimi Hendrix song, which, you know, is also from that era. I'm vibing with it though. Yo, what? What? That shit was tough. Yo, that was tough. I don't know what this is. Definitely a sample. It's got to be a sample. Like, it sounds like some 60s, 70s like psychedelic rock band. And if you know kind of that era of like rock and just music in general, there was like an undercurrent of bands that came from Africa that were heavily into psychedelic rock. African psychedelic rock bands, and I would not be surprised if this was a sample from one of those, because that's that kind of like whatever lyrical run, whatever that was, wherever he got that from, sounds like it's from that era. And that is a dope flip and inclusion in this song. Yo, Tyler's on another level. I will give him that. He is on another level. Nah, I gotta figure out the sample. I gotta figure out the sample. This shit is crazy. Hold on. What is going on? What is that? That is disgusting. That is absolutely disgusting. You know, before I like react to this album, I did one of our like live chat streams where we talk about the culture and conversations that is happening around like music, film, everything in general. One of the topics that we kind of discussed is Tyler the Creator better than J. Cole at this point? Like, has he surpassed J. Cole's position in music, and particularly in hip hop? And like, I kind of reacted to that and gave my opinions and commentary before I heard this album. So like, I didn't have the full context of everything that he's like kind of evolved to this point, but I might change my position after listening to this album. I might have to change my position, because as much as I love J. Cole, and I do love J. Cole, at least when it comes to production and artistry and like the different lanes and depths and layers that he is capable of getting to, I don't think J. Cole is capable production wise to reaching these insane levels that Tyler the Creator does, or even like Kendrick Lamar. Like, that's one thing that his production is always pretty simple, not basic, but simple, like kind of straight to the point, where it's like the stuff that he's doing here is just like, bro, like that's so left field, so out of pocket, so like unexpected. That's like, you gotta respect his artistry, and I might have to revise my position on like the pecking order of things if he continues on this kind of run that he's on right now, because this shit is nasty. God damn. Just the depths, the layers, all the different sounds, the switch up at the end, like, bruh, his artistry is different. Like, his artistry is truly different, and I don't think it gets enough appreciation just for the shit that he's doing. Like, this is insane. This is insane, and I really might have to consider my rankings again, because he's doing shit other artists just can't, especially not in hip hop. Like, this dude is on another level. And I did find the sample, and I was right. I was right. Let me pat myself on the back. Like, I was absolutely right. This was a sample from a band called Ngozi Family from Zambia. So it's like an African psychedelic rock band from the same time with 60s, 70s of like Jimi Hendrix, which were probably directly inspired by Jimi Hendrix. So I was 1000% correct when I was like, that has to be a sample from like that era. And I gotta get my flowers for that. This is the song in itself from Ngozi Family. I'm not gonna even try to pronounce the name, but this is the sample. Yeah, man, like that's such a fucking dope pool. Like, bro, how did you come up with this? How did you find this? How did you like decide to incorporate it into your music like that? Like this is sick. Like that's shout out to Tyler the Creator for pulling this one, because that is absolutely fire. 70s ambient psychedelic rock in 2024 hip hop song is crazy. Fire though, absolutely fire. Let's keep this going. Let's go to track number 4. Darling Guy. I mean, he has kind of mentioned it, like he pulls from kind of like that kind of soulful sound that he would have heard in his household when he was like either at a cookout or just on a Sunday or like whenever, like something that a lot of people, like black kids from that generation, can relate to. Is like that's the type of songs that we would hear in our house all the time, and like it's dope to see him kind of pull back that almost like retro soulful sound and bring it to the forefront again in his own music. And like to see somebody like on his stature do that is super dope, and I think it just introduces a whole new audience to the kind of that sound and style. Like there's a lot of other shit out there other than like, you know, drill music or whatever, but he has always been at the forefront of that. And to also see him kind of like bring Tizo Touchdown and put him on this kind of platform and this stage is also dope, because there's 100%, there's like 100% certainty that he was one of those kind of artists coming up that were influenced by Tyler the Creator and everything that he was doing specifically, because, you know, in a large part he did make it cool for like other black kids around, you know, that time to embrace their differences and be different and be alternative and like other shit and like other sounds and just be goofy in general. And like I think that is something that gets overlooked for kind of his impact on the game, but shout out to him for that this is dope. Cool song, not my favorite, but it's definitely something that is very much in his wheelhouse of late, kind of like those sickly sweet pop soul R&B kind of numbers that he's been doing since, you know, Scum Flower Boy. But cool song, dope to see Tizo on here. Also like a far cry from like his early days, but it's very much in his wheelhouse. Keeps going. Track number 5, Hey Jane. I mean, I know I keep calling back and calling out like all these kind of influences and sounds that I seem to hear from his music, but it's hard not to do because he's much like me, a straight up music nerd and lover of music in general, and like has like this almost encyclopedia-esque brain for all these sounds and songs that have come before him. Like you cannot listen to this and not tell me you do not hear Pharrell Williams all over this sound, or like the Neptunes all over this sound and styling. And he's fully admitted that Neptune's Pharrell have been big influences in him and his career and like his music in general. So like it's hard not to hear that. It's hard not to hear that influence here. Definitely sounds like a Pharrell Neptunes-esque song. I mean, he's clearly talking about, I don't want to say the word on here, but it rhymes with smushmortion, and a partner that seemingly may have had, I don't know if this is a true story, like this is a real life recounting of situation that has popped up in his life, but it definitely feels like it could be. Seems like he's kind of venting things and like talking about past experiences, and like he's mentioned how he felt like he wasn't ready at the time. He supports whatever decision that he wants to make, but it definitely sounds like a kind of nod to smushmortion. I'm like, this sounds very personal. Like I don't know if this is a actual true story of his, or like how this relates to him personally from a level of that, like if this is a past relationship or like maybe somebody he knows that's close to him, but like this certainly sounds very, very personal to him. And like, hey Jane, you know, kind of deal with the stress and realization that you got somebody pregnant that you might not be ready for, and like this is a very real song that would hit home for quite a lot of people. And that's a dense, lyrically kind of heavy song that you don't typically hear or get from the creator, quite honestly. Like can't recall too many songs where he went in like this kind of storytelling bag to the degree that he just did here. Like that is a very deep, heavy song when you really want to kind of dig into the lyrics. One that is very relatable to a lot of people, like especially in this day and age where a lot of pregnancies, births, like aren't necessarily on a marital kind of status or on a ready kind of thing, but like you can kind of feel like the dilemma just oozing from this track. And like, I don't know, like I said, I don't know if this is a personal kind of storytelling or like kind of reveal of things that he has gone through personally or like people close to him, but this definitely feels like a very kind of personal kind of retelling. Also kind of crazy that the next track right after Hey Jane, which is kind of mentioning much more sins and like deciding whether you were going to keep it or not, to I Killed You. Go, I'd like, let's check it out. Track number 6, I Killed You. You get his little bag right there, like the little flow and pocket that he kind of found on a kind of vocal delivery. He's flowing on this one. Like, I like that little pocket that he's sitting right here. I just picked up what he's talking about. Type 3, type 4. Got kinks. Comb that shit out. Like, he's talking about hair. He's talking about hair and particularly Black people's kind of relationship with their hair, which has been complicated over the many kind of years since we've been here in America. Interesting. Very interesting. Wasn't really sure who he was talking about killing, and I wasn't sure how he was going to be following up that song Hey Jane with a song called I Killed You, but it definitely seems to be like he talking about hair and like Black people, especially American Black people's relationship with it, and like all of the complexities and things that have come with it, and being told our hair isn't good, or like wanting to straighten it out, or like not loving it, and like kind of almost, if anything, self-hate, self-esteem issues that have happened within our communities and cultures. And it seems to be something that he's tapping into with this song, which is a very, very interesting approach that I did not expect from him. But I'm digging this one, and like one of the previous songs, undeniable influences, references to the Neptunes in the production. Fire song, definitely fire. One that I was not expecting, kind of take that approach lyrically and subject matter wise, but dope track. He's on one right now. Like, this is a very, very good project so far, and like very curious to see how he finishes it out. But let's keep this going. Track number 7, Judge Judy, which is not only a dope name for a song, but a TV show that I think all kids raised in that 90 were absolutely raised upon, because that shit was on TV 24/7. What does that mean? So I won't judge Judy. Oh. All right. He's literally saying I won't judge you because he met a girl named Judy. Okay. All right. I was like, so I won't judge Judy. What does that mean? Like, you won't like take her to paternity? Like, you won't take her to paternity court? Like, you're not the father? Like, what's going on? But like, it literally means I won't judge this girl. Okay. What? Remember I said, like, as kind of sophisticated as his music has become, especially production wise and sound wise, and like his ability to kind of blend all these different styles and elements of R&B, soul, rap, and everything together in this very unique package is impressive. But he also has not fully abandoned what have kind of got him here in the first place, which is his more aggressive, in your face shock rap style. And when you hear lines like he just said, you kind of get inklings, just like a little tidbits of what he used to say on a constant basis within his music. He said, "What are you into?" She said, "Body rubs, bondage, and cream pies." Crazy.
Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Or as like sickly sweet of a song this might seem on the surface, when you kind of really listen to these lyrics, it's anything but. This shit is explicit as hell. Giving oral is my passion is a what? Is he like Judy got to be an OnlyFans girl? Like Judy has to be an OnlyFans girl. The things that she's saying, she absolutely has a link in her bio and a backup account, 1000%. Which makes sense. Just put it together. I won't judge Judy. I'm not going to judge you. He's literally talking about OnlyFans girls these days. I'm not going to judge you. Like what you're into, you know, cream pies, giving oral, like you do you, girl. Like I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to judge Judy. I literally just pieced it all together. Like honestly, this is a much more layered track than I was expecting for as explicitly vulgar it kind of seems. But like this is a direct nod, love letter to all of you OnlyFans girls out there. So Tyler is for the ladies. Fraggy? Huh? Like that took a real left turn there at the end. Like shit got real dark. All right. So what seemed to be like a love letter homage to all of these OnlyFans girls out there living their best lives, and not judging them for the freaky shit that they get into. The last verse is literally a letter from Judy, basically speaking past tense. It spread to my head, which I'm assuming is cancer, and she's writing it like, thank you for, you know, the memories, but I'm gone. I'm dead now. So like shit, like took a real left turn. Real left turn. But man, like artistically, he's in his bag right now. Like I did not expect that song to be as layered and as in-depth as it was. And like the way he's able to layer all these different elements and different storytelling beats within this song is impressive. And like, give it up to him. Like, man, he's on one right now. He's definitely on one. I mean, crazy song that I'm sure if I went back and listened to it, I'd pick up on even more things within there, but like fire. Let's keep going. Track number 8, Sticky, featuring Glorilla, Sexy Red, and Lil Wayne, which a lineup you don't really see or expect to see or anything, but like it's here, and I'm very curious to see kind of what direction he goes with this. Let's go. Bruh. Oh, I could give a fuck about Pro Dom that nigga. That bitch, like Tyler is fucking crazy, and it works. Oh my god! Oh my god! That production, crazy. Is that Tyler too? Hold on, I gotta see who this is. Tyler produces too. Like his versatility as a producer is really insane and really underrated, because he's able to get into so many different bags. But this shit is hard as fuck. Like, and to hear Glow really kind of come in like that, like sheesh. Glorilla right now might be one of my favorite artists out there, like man or woman, like hands down one of my favorite artists. And like I really need to do a reaction to her album. Like I don't really know why we haven't, but I plan on doing that very soon, because Glorilla, every time I hear her, she be killing shit. Like she be murdering shit. She be bringing the energy kind of sound like Glorilla right there. Kind of sound like her from Memphis, but like she definitely brings the energy on a different level to every song that she kind of hops onto and drops. And like I'm a big fan of her, so I definitely need to go back and listen to her album in whole, but like she's easily one of my favorite artists out there today. Like I really feel like she's bringing back that like early 2000s kind of rap feel and style back to the forefront. And it's kind of crazy, but like she goes way harder than all the dudes out there right now who are emo as fuck. So it's dope. It's dope to see her on this, and it's dope to see kind of Tyler tap in with that side of things. I'm gonna run that back a little bit and get that drop. Okay, talk your shit, Tyler. They talk your shit. Like I said, bro, he ain't always popped this shit like as being one of the best rappers out there in the game today, but he feels more confident than ever before. Like, and he has all of the clout to talk the shit that he's been talking. Like, jack of all trades, name jack of all trades, name a nigga ahead of me must be kind of instead of me. Like, yo, talk your shit, bruh. Dripping condensation got a whisper conversation. So, holy shit. Yo, Wayne, I've mentioned this a few times, but Wayne definitely feels like over this past year or so, he's starting to get back into his bag a little bit. Like he's really starting to flow crazy again. And every kind of guest feature I've heard, and I'm like, damn, it's like the old Wayne coming back. Does he got that fire again? It certainly feels that way because every kind of guest feature I've heard over the last year, he's been absolutely murdering. This is no exception. Hold on. God damn. Those horns are crazy. Those horns are absolutely crazy. HBCUs are about to tear that shit up if they have not already. Those horns are crazy. You know what that reminds me of? Immediately, Rich Boy. Throw some D's on it, like or Young Buck. Nah, not Rich Boy. Young Buck. Is it Get Buck? It might be Get Buck. It might be Get Buck. Those horns remind me of Young Buck, Get Buck. Hold on. Hold on. That's gotta be. That's gotta be Buck, bro. That's gotta be. Hold on. Y'all gotta know what I'm talking about because that sounds exactly like Young Buck, Get Buck. Might be direct homage, which he's known to do. One of the hardest songs for that time period and does not get enough love because Young Buck actually murdered that shit when it came out. Like, I knew I recognized those horns. It sounded exactly like those horns from Young Buck, Get Buck. And as somebody who's such a connoisseur of music, like Tyler the Creator, once again, he's just showing his love and his appreciation for everything that came before him. And like, that definitely feels like a direct kind of interpolation homage to that song, which is criminally underrated. Like if you don't know that song, go say that shit is a banger. Shout out to him for that. That's dope. That is dope. Absolute banger. Absolute banger. Shout out to Tyler for that. Absolute banger. Get Glorilla, Sexy Red, Lil Wayne on track and actually have them like kill the verses, then come in with the Young Buck, Get Buck horns. What? His position in hip hop in the hierarchy might need to be reconsidered because he's quickly moving up the rankings for me. This guy's on that level, and like the love and respect and appreciation he shows for like the earlier days of hip hop, the people that influenced him is fire. It's dope to see. Absolutely dope to see. You know I'm gonna go listen to that song, Get Buck, in its entirety after this because that shit goes too hard. It's been too long since I heard that song. Shout out to him for bringing those memories back, man. Good times. Let's keep this going. Track number 9, Take Your Mask Off, featuring Daniel Caesar and LaToya Williams. I hope you find yourself, I hope you take your mask off can be either a absolutely filthy burn to somebody and kind of speaking about how two-faced and fake they are, or like, you know, a kind of uplifting, optimistic kind of like, man, I really hope you find yourself. But it definitely feels like the former and not the latter.
Bruh.
What? Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
That whole verse is just nasty. Not even nasty, like, damn, that was nasty. Like, bro, that was nasty. That was nasty. Preacher man, preacher man. You got a wife, got a kid, but you be them. Crazy. Like, this is crazy, bro. It's a wild ass song, man. And I mentioned how Take Your Mask Off can sound like, you know, a sick burn, or, you know, like a message of positivity. Like, you know, I really hope you find yourself, but like, ugh. Brother, ugh. That's all I gotta say, brother, ugh. Like, can't get over what I just heard. All right, let's finish this song.
Ugh. Brother, ugh. What's that? What's that, brother?
Like, yo, what is going on? Oh, leaves a tie there. That just. Just leave it at that. It was definitely a song about hypocrites and two-faced people and people living double lives and not, you know, just being fake as fuck, and like, which is obviously a very real part of society. And then we all know people like that. And he, in this verse, he seems to be singling out preachers who have had a history, say that, and like for him to get that explicit and what, brother, ugh. I mean, I saw that second verse was just, ew. He's obviously touching on like some very real issues and some very deep things. When you really dig into the shit that he's saying, like he's speaking about postpartum and like the shit that, you know, some women go through after giving birth, and like having these like depressing feelings and almost thoughts of suicide. And like for him to like touch on these songs, and then like to have this bright, punchy production behind it, like that kind of juxtaposition of these two kind of opposing themes is kind of wild. Did he just meet the Gramps himself? Did he just verbally, psychologically dismantle his own character and put it in verse, because that's exactly what it just sounded like he just did. It's like, what? This man is different, bro. This man is different. Like, he might not have the pure lyrical skill as like a J. Cole, bar for bar. Like, I don't think he could ever do that. But the versatility, the artistry, the depths he's willing to go to for songs, and like the theatrics and the cinematic flair of everything is impressive. Like, this song is fucking crazy. He just took you to do like so much shit there emotionally, like, and then like at the end, meet the Grams himself. Bruh, this shit's, he's different. This guy's different. Guy is different, man. This guy is definitely different. Let's keep this going. Track number 10 tomorrow. Again, I don't know specifically the name of what he's sampling, but this definitely sounds like a sample that I've heard before. I don't know if I can quite place it, but it definitely sounds like a sample that I've heard. Or maybe somebody else sampled it too in another song, like, but it definitely. That's what it is. It's another popular song sampled, and I gotta figure out what that is. I've definitely 1000% heard that kind of guitar riff that's going on there. Damn, what the fuck is it? If y'all know in chat, let me know. So I couldn't find, I mean, I figured out who he sampled. It's Summertime by Rosina de Valencia, but I can't find who else sampled that particular riff. But I 1000% have heard that somewhere. I believe in hip hop, and it sounds very, 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 very familiar. I just cannot place it, but that's the song he sampled, 1971 song Summertime by Rosina de Valencia, who, I'm not sure, she's either probably Portuguese or Brazilian. Don't take my word for that, but that's what it seems to be. Brazilian, yeah. So that's the sample, but I just don't know who else, what other popular song he sampled it, but it sounds so and feels so familiar. I mean, cool song, definitely vibey. I love that riff. Like, again, it feels so familiar. But dope song. Let's keep this going. Track number 11. Thought I Was Dead. I mean, even though I would have loved to have Kendrick Lamar on this album as well, especially considering like everything that happened this year and then how they come out to pop out, like I think this would have been dope. But like hearing him, Schoolboy Q together is also extremely dope. I think they would mesh very well together in the same way like Schoolboy Q and A$AP Rocky mesh really well together. And also, I do not think Schoolboy Q gets enough love and appreciation because one of his projects they put up, Blue Lips, was one of the best projects to have come out this year, and I think it's been criminally overlooked. But it's dope to see him kind of include him, and I think they have amazing chemistry together, and this song so far is a banger. I mean, fire song, absolute banger. The chemistry between, you know, Schoolboy Q and Tyler the Creator is definitely evident, and it's dope to hear Santa Gold's kind of inclusion here, even though it's like more background vocals, because I think she's also an extremely dope underrated artist, and like I love her music. Overall, this is probably the most kind of straightforward hip-hop-y single that I've heard off this entire project so far, but I'm digging it. It was fire. What else can I say? Dope song. Keep this going. Track number 12. Like Him, featuring Lola Young. I mean, this is a vibe. Like, I've just been kind of stuck vibing out to this because this shit is just a vibe. Production is super smooth and like fully layered and dense and lush, and then like his kind of soft vocals throughout this just create this whole kind of vibe that you can just kind of like kick back to. But when you kind of like really dig into the lyrics and kind of what he's presenting here, it seems to be from my perspective, that he's speaking maybe about his father. Like, father, do I look like him? Is something like or mother, do I look like him? It seems to be like somebody's like kind of measuring himself to his father, or, you know, father figure, and like trying to live up to those kind of like standards, and just overall just trying to live up to that image that was put out before you, that you are technically a copy of. So like that seems to be kind of the general themes of this, but overall, like, this song's just a vibe, straight up vibe. Like, I think that basically confirmed what my thoughts were. Like, this seems to be like him speaking about a like absentee father, whether that was voluntarily or involuntarily, whether mom kept him from her, which you kind of alluded to. But yeah, like an absentee father, and like questioning his mother, like, do I look like him? I'm chasing a ghost of him. Trying to live up to that image of his dad that he seems to not really know or have a relationship with, like, which unfortunately is a relatable theme for a lot of people. But yeah, that's kind of the general gist of the song, and overall it's just a vibe. The song was just a vibe. Let's keep this going. 2 more tracks. Track number 13, Balloon featuring Doechii. A little Luke and Rob bass right there. Okay. Some songs, just when you hear that, just a little snippet of, you instantly recognize, you instantly know, like that Don't Stop is just immediately recognizable, and it's like an all-time song. And while it might not get enough love and appreciation for its impact, but it's undeniable. Like, there are some songs out there from the past that you hear just a snippet, one line, don't stop, not even a line, a quarter of a line, don't stop, and I hear that, and I immediately know what it is and what it's referencing. And like, to have a song last that long and be that recognizable, gotta be dope feeling, because that little stab, that little sample stab is all it took. And like, oh, Luke and Rock bass, dope. Dope.
Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
It wouldn't be a Tyler the Creator album or project without, you know, some sus bars there. And him kind of joking about being gay, which I assume to be joking because there's been no real evidence, but he loves making people uncomfortable and saying, just throwing them shits out there like it's nothing, so nonchalantly. It would not be a Tyler the Creator album without him. I mean, Doechii's another one that I definitely need to kind of react to, her last project, and like one that I've always been liking and appreciating everything that I've heard from her. And her being from the TDE camp, I expect nothing but greatness. But she also gives me, you know, heavy Nicki Minaj vibes, and her ability to kind of tap into these different voices, different styles, different deliveries. And like, I'm sure she was also influenced by that, but I think she has that potential to be just as big of a female artist as like a Nicki. And like, dope to see her on a Tyler album and see him really tap into some of the young up and coming talent on here. Dope.
Bruh.
Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
I aired this bitch out like a queef is crazy. Crazy. Fun little song, fun little, like, you know, track number from Tyler the Creator featuring, you know, up and coming, I think, star Doechii, and just dope song overall. Let's keep this going. Last track we're gonna do, last track on the project. I hope you find your way home. Let's go. Hey, little callback. I believe that was off the first track I think we heard, where he kind of had that line. Actually, I don't know about first track, but it definitely one of those songs he's already had on here. Definitely a callback, but this seems to be a song where he's kind of just popping his shit, like, you know, ending things off on the right note, like reasserting his kind of position and feelings that he's one of the best in the game. And like, that certainly seems to be where things are headed. This is a fire project, and it seems to be like something that definitely needs to be considered in his position in the game, because everything I've heard so far on this project is fire. Dope song, dope into the project, perfect little send off, hip hop and his shit, and kind of just bringing things full circle and like reasserting like he's one of the best in the game. Overall, man, like this is just absolutely fire project. I think like everything he said, all the boastful shit, he has the right to. He's backed it up. He's building a really, really impressive catalog of music, and like it's hard to deny him. It's almost impossible to deny him, because the artistry's there, the production is there, the depth is there, like now the storytelling is there. It's just like, man, how can he not be one of the best artists out there? How can he not be considered one of the best? He has not missed in quite some time, and this album for me was practically no skips. Like I can listen to this probably from front to back. Obviously there's some songs that, you know, resonate a little less than others, but like overall, man, this is an absolutely fire project, and one that fully lived up to the hype and like really just kind of furthered his catalog and his claim as one of the best rappers, artists in the game out there today. Definitely one of the most creative, definitely one of the most daring, one of those that's not afraid to go different places, and his ability to blend all these different elements into this own unique package is truly special, and one that is only continuing to get more and more appreciated as time goes on. His fan base is growing, his cloud is growing. Like it's just like some artists hit a point in their career, a creative point in their career, where they just can't seem to miss, and it seems to be like that's either where he's at in his current career right now, or where he is definitely headed to. And I'm very curious to see kind of how he continues to evolve and change and like refine his sound, because it's hard to imagine being much better than what he is now. But he continues to surprise me time after time. And this was a fire project, absolutely fire project. What do you guys think about this album? What do you think about Tyler, the Creator, and his career? What do you think about his kind of current position and stance in the game? Hip hop music in general, like where do you kind of put him? Is he one of those like upper echelon guys now? When they say big three, will you need to start considering Tyler, the Creator in that conversation? Let me know in the comments down below. What's some of your favorite tracks off this project? And what are some of your favorite projects from him? Wherever you're watching, listening to this. But that's it for today's stream. Now spinning, Tyler, the Creator, CHROMAKOPIA, absolutely fire. Highly recommended from us and from me. An album that is definitely worth checking out. But that's it for today's stream. We'll be back with more. Until then, keep living life fearless. Peace.